See how they block? They don't, so I'm going to cast Monstrous Rage right here. Right. Get him. Give it a 3. Okay, and post-combat, you'll get 2 sages. And so it's come to this. We have checked out every clan of Tarkir, starting with Mardu, Temur, we checked out Sultai and Abzan. And now we have to round out our tour of Tarkir with Jeskai, arguably the most powerful of the clans, simply because they have access to flurry and prowess. So let's go take a look at it. And here it is. This is what we landed on for our Jeskai build. Unlike a lot of the other decks that we did for this tour of Tarkir, we really aren't leaning too heavily on a lot of the multicolored spells, not like we did with, say, Sultai or Abzan. This one is a lot more straightforward, and a lot of that comes from the fact that this deck is already mostly solved in the izzet colors. We are adding white for a little bit of extra oomph in the form of Sage of the Skies and Monastery Mentor. But aside from that, it looks like a pretty stock izzet deck. You've got the Swiftspear, Stormchaser's Talent, you have Opt, Burst Lightning, Monstrous Rage. We have new card Cori-Steel Cutter, and if you've been paying any attention to the ladder or to tournaments going on lately, you'll know to keep your eye on Cori-Steel Cutter. Aside from that, we have a couple of copies of Highway Robbery to get a little extra card draw going. We have Slickshot Show-Off and Slick Sequence. Now, the good thing about Highway Robbery and Slickshot Show-Off is they both have plot, so you can shove them aside early in like turn 2 or 3 in order to set up a really powerful turn later. And you'll see that in the games that we played today. The white cards that are making it into the deck are Monastery Mentor. This one is a little bit older. It is a 2/2 for 3 mana with prowess, and whenever you cast a non-creature spell, create a 1/1 white monk creature token with prowess. So this card is here just to give you a few extra creatures to help you finish the job. And aside from that, we also have Sage of the Skies. This is actually really good for when you go up against an aggro mirror. Having that flying and lifelink on 2 bodies that come into play is relevant, absolutely relevant, especially if you can slap something like Monstrous Rage on top of the Sage of the Skies, or equip it with like a Cori-Steel Cutter in the late game. So it's a pretty decent evasive lifelinking beater. And the fact that you can get 2 of them just for playing another spell like Opt or Burst Lightning is pretty strong. In the mana base, you may notice a lack of basic lands, and that is by design. We are running 3 colors, and very few of our cards require colorless mana. You have Slickshot, Highway Robbery, Cori-Steel Cutter, Monastery Mentor, and Sage of the Skies. Aside from that, everything else requires colored mana. So I wanted to have as many ways to double down on mana as possible, and also not play as many comes into play tapped lands as possible. So that's why you have a lot of pain lands in here like Adarkar Wastes. You have the fast lands like Seachrome Coast. We have Shivan Reef, Spirebluff Canal, Battlefield Forge, and Inspiring Vantage. So none of our lands, if played properly, will come into play tapped. And if you happen to have a fast land in your like middle of the game hand, you can throw it away with a Highway Robbery, because you can either sacrifice a land or discard a card to draw those 2 cards. So it's a pretty decent trade-off there. So that's the deck. It's pretty straightforward. A lot of the Jeskai influence is in the deck, with a little bit of white to give us some staying power. So let's go play some games, and I will see you at the back end of this video. Okay, so we get to go first. We have all 3 of our colors, and we have a pretty decent open, so let's go with it. Alright, first up is to give the Seachrome Coast for Stormchaser's Talent. Alright, play Mountain. I'll play the Spirebluff Canal. And then I will Opt. Give that Monstrous Rage right there. Alright, next I'll attack. Okay, they go to defense. Cast the Monstrous Rage. Hit him for 6. Poison Dartfrog, huh? Okay. Alright. It will get Death Touch if they have the mana for it. But at the moment, they do not. Alright. Let's attack. No? Alright. I'm saving the Monstrous Rage for next turn so I can get double effect out of the Sage of the Skies. Hulking Raptor, okay. I like what's going on here. Alright, my turn. Alright, let's go Adarkar Wastes, and let's go ahead and go next and attack. See how they block. They don't, so I'm going to cast Monstrous Rage right here. Right. Hit him. Give it a 3. Okay, and post-combat, we'll get 2 Sages. Alright. Big mana turn for them. Yaris. Yaris? Really? I mean, okay. Yeah, I don't think you're attacking yet. Alright. Swiftspear. Opt. What's the top of my deck look like? Slick Sequence? I'll take that. Hell yeah. Alright, let's attack. Here come the team. Okay, I'm gonna block there. Okay, that's gonna block there. That's gonna block there. Alright, that's more than enough damage to do you in. Yeah, give it that Death Touch. Might as well. GG, friend. Okay, opponent goes first. We have 3 lands, all 3 of our colors, and a very red hand. Let's get it. Alright, opponent opens with Argoth, Sanctum of Nature. Very interesting. So let's open with Inspiring Vantage. That way we have access to Burst Lightning if we need it. Okay, they play an Izzet Guildgate. So they're at the very least in Teamer. Alright, let's go with the Seachrome Coast, and I'm going to plot Highway Robbery. Okay, they play Spelunking, so they're a ramp deck. So that means we need to start hitting them hard. Okay, they dropped an Orzhov Guildgate. Let's play Shivan Reef. And then we're going to play the Cori-Steel Cutter. Play Highway Robbery. Take action. I will discard a card. We'll discard the Adarkar Wastes to draw 2. Very cool. A fresh Adarkar Waste right there. And then I think we'll play a Stormchaser's Talent. Prowess up. Make another guy. Attack for 3. Okay, they play a Forest. They're up to 5 lands now. And I think they can play an extra land, right? Let's draw a card, you may put a land card from your hand. Okay, so it's not an ongoing thing. It's just when they play Spelunking, they can play an extra land. They are searching for 2 basic land cards or gate cards and put them onto the battlefield. Is this a gate deck? They've got 2 gates already. I will laugh my ass off if this is like a straight up gate deck. Alright, they're gonna go Spelunking again. You got another land to play? They certainly do. They are ramping up hard. Okay, let's play this Adarkar Wastes. Let's go play Cori-Steel Cutter. Then I'm going to play Monstrous Rage on that. Take action, make some more guys, and then we're gonna punch your face in. Put you to 4. Okay, so if I can draw a land that comes to play untapped next turn, even if they clear my board, I should be able to clear. And if they don't clear my board, then we're doing pretty good. Okay, Play a forest. They've got 3 cards left in hand. Blossoming Tortoise. When this creature enters or attacks, mill 3 cards, then return a land card from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped. Activated abilities of lands you control cost 1 less. What is Vivian doing?
Go ahead and run. I can keep
They're
up.
tapped out now. Destroy target artifact, enchantment, or creature with flying. Or look at the top 4 cards alive. Yeah, I don't think that's going to be enough, friend. Yeah, you busted one of my enchantments, that's fine. But here, I'm just gonna shoot you twice. Just end the game right now. Sure, take action. Why not? That's a lot of monks. Jeez. Okay, this is a little rough. It's 3 Shivan Reefs, so it's good because the lands come into play untapped, but it's bad because I'm going to be taking damage to casting my spells. But I'd rather not mulligan. I'm sure we can draw into some better lands eventually. So we'll keep it. Alright, let's take our first turn, play that Shivan Reef, and drop a Stormchaser's Talent. Okay, they open with a Wastewood Verge. Taps for green. Play another Shivan Reef, and I'm going to plot the Slicky. There we go. There's a forest. Are they going to do anything? Alright, they're going to verge away with my Otter. Alright, let's go Shivan Reef. Let's go Slickshot Show-Off. Let's go Slickshot Show-Off. And then we will opt. Pay for it. Send that down. Just drew another one. Why not? Alright, let's attack. Avatar, huh? So this is one of those decks. Alright, another Virtue. You got it. Alright, well, let's go Battlefield Forge. Let's go Slickshot Show-Off. And we're gonna burst you for 2. Alright, punch you for 6. Fabled Passage, okay. Alright, it's destroyed. Alright, Cori-Steel Cutter, auto pay. Then we will Highway Robbery, play it. Sacrificing one of my 3 Shivan Reefs to do it. Yeah, we'll take action on the Cori. Sacrifice the land. Draw 2 more cards. It's 2 more lands. Go figure. Alright, play that. Alright, hit him. Alright, so if they don't gain any life this turn, I can activate Stormchaser's Talent to get my burn spell back from my graveyard, and then pop them.
My way tend to regret it.
Sacrifice a creature? You got it.
Haven't you ever heard of personal space?
Let's see what they do. I got 2 mana left. Bitter Triumph? Okay, cool. That's totally fine. They're tapped out. That's good game. Alright, let's go ahead and play the Adarkar Wastes. We're going to activate, get a spell back from our graveyard. Here, let's pay a blue, pay a colorless, pay a colorless, pay a colorless. That keeps us active on the red. We get back Burst Lightning. We cast Burst Lightning, targeting you for 2, and we win the game. GG. Sometimes you gotta make sure to tap just right, otherwise the auto tapper will screw you. Okay, opponent goes first. We have 3 lands that give us red and white, and our hand is all red, so let's keep it and see what happens. Okay, opponent opens with a Copperline Gorge. That tells me they are at least in red and green. Let's play the Spirebluff Canal and play a Monastery Swiftspear. Attack for 1. Alright, opponent drops a mountain. Let's go Inspiring Vantage. And I'm gonna go Plotting Highway Robbery. Attack for 1. Alright, Thornspire Verge, Bloomvine Regent. So we're up against some kind of ramp deck. So they're gonna get 2 forests out of their library. Let's go Battlefield Forge. Let's go Cori-Steel Cutter. Then I'm gonna go Monastery Swiftspear. I probably should have done that in a different order, but that's okay. It's only a loss of 1 life. Or 1 potential damage, I mean. Let's discard a card. We'll discard the Battlefield Forge. There we go. It's more lands. Alright, let's attack for a lot. Okay, Forest into Enduring Courage. Okay. And then torch the tower on the token. Alright, sounds good to me. Let's go Adarkar Wastes. Let's go Monastery Mentor. And then we're going to go with a Burst Light. Actually, yeah, we'll go with a Burst Light right now. And we'll burst their face. Take action. Okay. And then we will attack with all of them. And block the Cori-Steel. Go to 4. Okay. Opponent drops a forest. And plays Twin Flame Tyrant. Okay, that's gonna hit me for 10. So that's 10, 16. I'm gonna block one of them. Go to 10. Alright, let's opt. And bonuses and good game. Okay, opponent goes first. We have 3 lands, all 3 of our colors. Monastery Mentor, Opt, Stormchaser's Talent, and Cori-Steel Cutter. That's a pretty decent open. I'm going to keep it. Alright, they open with Inspiring Vantage, and they are plotting Demonic Ruckus. I actually really like Demonic Ruckus. I think it's a good card. Alright, I'm going to play Stormchaser's Talent. The fact that it gives a menace to something is really good. Okay, they play a Temple of Triumph. They're going to scry for 1. And they like what they saw, so they're going to keep it right there. Alright, so let's go and play the Battlefield Forge. And I'm going to plot the Slickshot Show-Off. Attack for 1. Plan next turn is to play the Cori-Steel Cutter into the Slickshot. Oh, Jawbone Duelist. That's not good for me. And they very likely have a protection spell available for it. Okay, they're just straight up playing it. Good thing it doesn't give a trample though. Alright, let's see here. Let's go with the Seachrome Coast. Going to go with the Cori-Steel Cutter. Then we're going to play the Slickshot Show-Off. Take action. And then we will attack. Like so. Is he going to block? Alright, he took the bait. I'm going to cast Opt. Burst Lightning stays right there. Love that card. Pop. Pop, 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 pop. Alright, they draw a card from the Demonic Ruckus going away, but importantly, they took the bait and Jawbone Duelist is no longer on the table. Hithkin Billy Rider. 1/3 Double Strike. Okay, I think I see what you're going for here. We are playing a Double Strike deck. Alright, let's go ahead and play here. Then I'm going to play a Stormchaser's Talent. And then we're going to go ahead and play the Monastery Mentor. Also just doing that to get another Cori. And attack. Yep. There you go. Alright, to play another mountain. They have 7 health remaining. Archangel Elspeth, huh? Okay. What are you gonna do with that? 2 +1 counters, flying and vigilance. That is not good. Alright, so we really just need to go around her. So let's go ahead and we will attack with everything. Right there. Let's see how they choose to block. Block that? Okay. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's plenty of damage. Good game. Which is -2. Interesting build. I don't think I've seen anything quite like that before. Okay, and we are back with our post-game wrap-up, and as expected, this is the deadliest of all of the clans. Having access to like all the shenanigans that Izzet does on the regular is really, really strong. Like, we really aren't leaning too heavily on a lot of the later game spells. Most of what makes this deck good is in the Izzet colors. The white, while it is here to offer some extra staying power, and so you don't just get blown out by other aggro decks, it doesn't come into play or into relevancy nearly as much as this stuff over here. So if you wanted to cut the white completely from this deck and make the mana just a little bit more consistent, then you absolutely can do that with this deck. So you just go straight on Izzet and just smash face. But I do like having the white in here for the Mentor and the Sage of the Skies. And also, if you wanted to go a little bit further into white, you could add things like, what is it? You can add Lightning Helix if you wanted to, or even you could add a couple copies of Authority of the Consuls to make sure your opponent's blockers come into play tapped. So it's pretty good having access to white, but overall it is not 100% necessary. As far as MVPs for the deck, well, if you know Izzet, then you already know your MVPs are easily Stormchaser's Talent, Monstrous Rage, Cori-Steel Cutter. Absolutely elevates this deck into the stratosphere. I would not be surprised if Cori-Steel Cutter ends up getting banned at some point. Slickshot Show-Off, always happy to see a Slickshot come into play. Cards that are a little bit on the weak side, I would probably say Slick Sequence does a little bit too little for the 2 mana investment on that. I probably, if I were to swap this out for anything, I might swap it out for Lightning Helix for a little extra staying power, or for just another better removal spell, or maybe even a bounce spell, honestly. But Slick Sequence, while it does draw you a card, it does only deal 2 damage. And that damage can go face, which is good, but it's 2 colored mana for only 2 damage, so it's not the best. So we might end up cutting that at some later point. Anything else that is a little bit lesser value? Not really anything, honestly. Like, the Highway Robbery really surprised me with how effective it is, because you just throw away an extra land in your hand to get 2 additional spells to keep on slinging at the opponent. The fact that you can plot it and cast it for free makes it heads and shoulders above most other draw spells, especially when you are operating most turns off of 2 or 3 mana. So having the plot is really, really strong. But yeah, having that Swiftspear into Stormchaser's Talent or Cori-Steel Cutter into a later Slickshot, it's the deck is just good. I mean, don't take my word for it though. Play it yourself. Maybe copy the deck, play a few games of it, have some fun. I know I did. I'm a big fan of the whole izzet Spellslinger playstyle, and having access to these new cards from Tarkir have really just elevated this deck to a whole new level, and I personally plan on playing quite a bit of this deck. So, with that said, I will leave a link to the deck list in the description box down below so you can try it out yourself, and until next time, you take care of yourselves.